Our world is a world based on forgetfulness of who and what we really are. And now, my dear and esteemed viewer, it is time to remember. There is no doubt that many of us are remembering, beginning to remember. We are becoming aware of who we truly are at our source and of the place we should rightfully hold in a vast interdimensional society that has long existed. Our current time period marks the end of Earth's infancy and the start of our conscious re-entry into interdimensional society. It is the end of a long, dark age in which we were solidly locked into the third dimension and thus forced to focus our attention on this dimension's strata of consciousness. With no way out for most of us, we could go only into this frequency and master its potentials on both the dark and the light sides of the spectrum of consciousness. We fashion many objects to adjust to the parameters of this third dimension. These include tools ranging from hammers and nails to institutions such as the military, the government, and religion. Today, as our consciousness expands, we can easily see that our issues go beyond the solution capacities of our current solid tools and forms. Do we throw away these tools or adjust them to more effectively serve the larger vision we are now acquiring? The answers are up to each of us to decide for ourselves. Our world is experiencing the end of one level of perception and the start of a new expanded vision. This is why all the previous generations of soothsayers, of prophets, of all traditions have said they cannot predict the outcome of this period. We are crafting for ourselves a new level of consciousness, and we do not know yet what it will bring. It is a grand experiment, and we are the fortunate few, million, who will be determining its outcome for our world. Many in our world today feel isolated and alone, yet this perception is one of the furthest from the reality that we humans can ever hold. We are connected, my dear and esteemed viewer. We, you, I, all of us, we are connected to everything in the universe. We have all spun forth from the same unified source, from the infinite prime creator, from the divine grid programmer, and thus we are all related. We can learn to communicate with any part of the whole that we choose if we learn the proper protocols and work to absorb these into our personal consciousness or energy field. Whether this work is communication with the cells of our own body, with the animals, plants, and nature spirits in our surrounding landscapes, in our backyards, or with the vast cosmic consciousness that have themselves spun forth universes and worlds, it does not change. My dear and esteemed viewer, we are beginning to remember. You are beginning to remember. I am beginning to remember. We are remembering. The breadth of this growing remembrance is easily seen on a visit to any bookstore, broad-based bookstore. A look at its shelves. Go to your local used bookstore. Here we have half-price books. A look at its shelves shows books about contacting angels, fairies, extraterrestrials, metaterrestrials, our own higher selves, our animal, plant, and mineral totems, and God, the source, him, her, itself, the divine grid programmer. There are books, many books, multitudes of books explaining the commonality of all fields from the viewpoint of science, politics, religion, and self-help. How do we tie all these, or how do we get all these perceptions to tie together, to get them to be one conceivable whole that makes some sort of sense? What is the common thread running through this tapestry? How do we learn to communicate and cooperate with all these life forms that are occupying the very same space in which we, solid third dimension humans, also live? Well, my dear and esteemed viewer, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and we'll explore those topics and those techniques in contacting our interdimensional brethren, sisters, allies, neighbors. Truly exciting times, folks. Stay tuned.
Namaste. Namaskaram.